Hi guys, welcome back to Whirly's Watchbox, and it has been quite a while since I last made a video. Went on a 4-year hiatus. The last one was made in 2021, and at the time of this recording, we are at the tail end of 2025. I just missed talking watches, making videos. At the time, I felt like it was becoming more like a job, but I just figured I would relax this time around and just enjoy it for what it is, talking watches. And what's better than that? So with this first video back, we are going to be looking at the Christopher Ward C60 Trident Pro 300. And I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and I wanted to get this filmed before it really started to patina with it being bronze. And it already has started, and you can see that, but I really wanted to still capture this beautiful light catcher case that Christopher Ward does so well before the, shiny finishing starts to fully patina over. So with that, the dimensions are 42 millimeters. It's 11.5 millimeters thick with 22 millimeter in between the lugs here and 49 lug to lug, if I remember that right. So on my just under 7-inch wrist now, it does wear rather large, but I can just barely pull it off. I'm not going to show, well, maybe I'll show a wrist photo, but we all know that the camera tends to distort that and make it look way larger than it really is. So just a little background on this. I had the Gen 1, I want to say in the late 20 teens, of the Trident Pro 600. It was a 43 millimeter Hulk, definitely different in its design cues. It had the all bronze bezel, the almost Lumiere type style indices a little bit. They weren't the indices that we definitely have here. They were just basically all lume. And it was a much different watch than this. And then, they kind of refined it when they came out with the Trident Mark III. And they still had the all bronze bezel, but did more of a, scratch ombre dial sort of thing. And it looked really good. And truth be told, I kind of miss the 38 millimeter versions. I would have much preferred to have gotten that over 42, but we'll get into that later. So this strap here, I actually just got this yesterday, and yes, I'm going to put the bronze buckle on this, but it looks really well. But it came on this really nice leather strap. I'm just not a big leather strap on diver guy, and the rubber hybrid cloth strap wasn't available at the time. But I will say that this strap is really well made. I really do love it, and if it was smaller on a dress watch or something like that, it would look great. And to be honest, it looks really good on this watch. I really do like the combination. It looks great there. I just prefer it on a rubber strap, so that's why I made the switch there. But yeah, really nice quality. It's got this nice little loop here to keep this from sliding all the way down, which I do appreciate. The only bad thing about this is sometimes if it's on your wrist, this can stick out, but can't really complain there. It does have quick release spring bars. Overall, if you do go for the strap option and plan on keeping it on the strap, this is a very nice, high quality strap, and I do like it, and I could recommend it. I really could. It's very comfortable as well. So nothing against this. I just prefer it on the rubber strap that we have here. So with this, I mentioned it before, but the light catcher case is absolutely stunning. I love the way that it, no pun intended, but plays with the light. I mean, it is just gorgeous. The case finishing on this is just amazing. I absolutely love it. Yes, you will see it will look smudgy due to the, the patina. Obviously when you touch it, bronze is very subjective to the oils on your hands and all that stuff. But I do love the way that this case looks, and this color scheme is just amazing. I think the blue ombre dial here, going from that darker navy type blue into a much lighter, almost royal blue in the center, looks fantastic. The bezel is also a nice change. It's not the all bronze bezel of years past, and the numerals here, the markers on the bezel, are all loomed, which I really like. And there's some other big differences between this one and the old versions as well. The old versions didn't have the applied logo. That has been something that Christopher Ward has really been implementing over the past couple of years. And for so long, I don't really like to get into it because it was a sore subject for a lot of people. But Christopher Ward, kind of went through an identity crisis, at least with their logo there for a little bit. But now I feel like they really have found their spot, if I can get it to focus here. But I just think this applied logo looks fantastic. You can see the brushing on there, all individual pieces. It looks amazing. Love it. Love the direction they've gone with the branding over the past couple of years. Really applaud them for that. So, with Christopher Ward, one thing that has always stuck out to me over the years is their finishing. I talked about it with the case, which we've already seen. You saw it on the logo, but let's look at these hands and markers. So you can see there on the minute hand that it's got a brushed center, even going out to the end here, and then polished on the sides. And the same goes for the hour hand. And I just think it's very, very well done. And then on the markers, you have brushing on the top. And then you have a high polish on the bevels there. And it's just the attention to detail that Christopher Ward has applied to their most recent offerings the past few years that kind of puts them over the edge and makes them really, really, really good value for money. Now, the bezel action on this is also very good. 120 click bezel. There is just a minor bit of play, but I'm not going to gripe about that too much. You can see there's just a tiny bit. And pardon my cracked hands, it went from 60 degrees down to like 20 degrees in a day here in the Midwest. So it'll probably look like this till like April, but it is what it is. So let's talk about the cons about this watch. So I've been gushing about it so far. What's wrong with it? Well, the size options. 42 is a bit big for a lot of people's wrists. I did like it when they offered this in two sizes back in the day with the 38 and 43 millimeter options. I don't feel like 42 is a good middle ground. If your wrist can pull it off, and mine just barely can, then you're fine. I just prefer smaller sizing in general. So I would definitely pick this up at a 38, but if they're not going to do the two sizes, why couldn't they do 40? I feel like 40 or 41 is a pretty good middle ground for most people. But then again, if this fits your wrist, then that's not a con at all. The exhibition case back. I feel like a diver's watch, a tool watch, needs to have a nice stamped case back, like the old Tridents, and I'll throw up a picture of that too. I really miss the way that the old Tridents had that. I thought it was so well done. It looked great, and just made it feel like a true tool watch. It's not like this movement. I mean, it's not an ugly movement. The decorated rotor is nice. The finishing's pretty good, but it's nothing, over the top to look at. So I just feel like, on a dress watch or something like that, okay, yeah, exhibition case back is fine, but for this, I would go old school with it and do the stamped case back. And then one other drawback, a little bit, is the loom. Now this one is much better than in years past. I just feel like it's not super bright, and then what you're seeing on camera is definitely much brighter than what you see in person. And maybe it's just because my first divers were entry level Seikos, and their loom, as most of us know, is just absolutely phenomenal, even on their cheapest watches. So maybe I just got a little spoiled with that. I mean, overall, the loom is good. It's just not overly great. Let's just say that. But let's end on a positive note. The pros. As I mentioned earlier, the color scheme is just phenomenal. I really like this. Now, it also does come in a brown, and I think that looks really good, but I have always been a blue person, so I opted for that option. The finishing, as I've said a million times already in this video, is just absolutely astounding, even down to the micro level here on the hands and the logo, as well as the indices. And then it's got a very solid construction. The bezel action that we went over feels very nice. It feels like a very high quality watch. And then the movement. This is a chronometer version. The bronze only comes in a chronometer variant, which I guess you could view as a con if you don't care about that. And to be honest, I really don't either. So, is that extra cost really justified for this? I don't know. I mean, to me, I really don't care. I'm not a movement snob by any means. I would be fine with just the regular SW200 instead of the chronometer variant, but, is what it is. Oh, also one thing I didn't touch on, the date at 6 o'clock. I love it at 6 o'clock instead of the old 3 o'clock positioning on the old ones. I feel like this is much more symmetrical. It feels balanced and clean. So anyway, thanks for watching this review. I hope you guys liked it. This is my first video after 4 years, so maybe a little rough around the edges, but thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one.